What's up, everybody? Your boy Melvin in our classic review. Today I'll be talking about my thoughts on another Ralph Bakshi film. This one more famous and infamous than Fritz the Cat. I'm talking about a certain film that became the garner of one of his greatest films and also the most controversial. I'm talking about Coonskin. First released back in August 20th, 1975. And this is a live-action animated satire crime film written and directed by Ralph Bakshi. And the film references the Uncle Remus folk tales and satirizes the blaxploitation film genre, as well as Disney's racially controversial film Song of the South. Also adapted from the Uncle Remus stories, the film's narrative concerns an aphrodisiac Uncle Remus characters Brer Rabbit, referred to as Brother Rabbit, Brer Fox, referred as Preacher Fox, and Brer Bear, referred to as Brother Bear. As I was saying, sorry about the interruption. They rise to the top of organized crime racket in Harlem, encountering corrupted law enforcement, con artists, and the mafia. In a satire of both racism within the Hollywood film system and America itself, the film stars Philip Thomas, Charles Gordon, Barry White, and Scatman Croft, all of whom appear in both live action and their animated sequences. And before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, if you encountered a 6-foot tall, busty blonde, painted in red, white, and blue, that's offering you sexual favors until you end up drop dead because you're not the same color of her, I'm talking about both the Latin, black, Muslim, anybody who's not from the red, white, and blue, beware. It's a trap. So yeah, this is a warning to those who have a sense of humor or understand who take this film a bit more seriously than going, instant woke. Which anybody who's starting going woke is going to be banned because we're getting a bit tired of that BS. The woke culture is not culture. It's just sissiness from the Gen Zs. Period. Oh boy. But continuing. Originally produced under the title Harlem Nights and Coonskin No More at Paramount Pictures, Coonskin encountered controversy before its original theatrical release when the Congress of Racial Equality accused the film of being racist. When the film was released, Bryanston gave it a limited distribution and initially received mixed reviews. Later re-released under the title Bustin' Out and Street Fight, Coonskin has since been reappraised, recontextualized the film as the condemnation of racism that the director intended rather than be a product of racist imagination, as its detractors had claimed. A New York Times review said Coonskin could be Ralph Bakshi's masterpiece. Bakshi has stated that he considers Coonskin to be his best film yet, which I do agree. And let's see the history of the production because, oh boy, this is a whole lot. Because I see a lot of other people reviewed this movie and like, maybe hit about it. Let's check it out, shall we? During the production of Heavy Traffic, filmmaker Ralph Bakshi met and developed an instant friendship with producer Albert S. Rudy during a screening of The Godfather and pitched Harlem Nights, a satirical adaptation of the Uncle Remus storybook, to Rudy. In 1973, production of Harlem Nights began with Paramount Pictures, where Bakshi once worked at the head of its cartoon studio originally attached to distribute the film. Bakshi hired several black animators to work on Harlem Nights, including graffiti artists, at the time when black animators were not widely employed by major animation studios. Production concluded in the same year. During production, the film went under several titles, including Harlem Days and Coonskin No More. Coonskin uses a variety of racist caricatures from blackface minstrelsy and darky iconography, including stereotypes featured in Hollywood's films and cartoons. In the books that blaxploitation, Roots of the Badasses, to the rated X by an all-white jury, Darius James writes that Bakshi pukes the iconographic bile of a racist culture back in his stupid, bloated face, wipes his chin, and smiles Dirty Harry style. He subverts the context of Hollywood's entire catalog of racist black iconography through a series of swift cross-edits of original and appropriate footage. The film also features equally exaggerated portrayals of a white Southerner, Italians, and homosexuals. The depiction of Jewish characters stems from stereotypes portrayed in Nazi propaganda, including the Eternal Jew. If you don't know, it's a book written by the propaganda of the Nazis, which has a bunch of mushrooms looking at a Jewish mushroom, which, you know, the stereotypical Jew with the big nose and the Star of David. Yeah, I've seen that image before. Oh boy! Now that's the worst part of human history right there. Whew. Can't just accept people, but nope. They just hate them because they're different. And we're still, to this day, we still haven't evolved. Oh boy. But back to the film. In his review for The Hollywood Reporter, Arthur Knight wrote, Coonskin is not anti-black, nor is it anti-Jewish, anti-Italian, anti-American, all of whom fall prey to Bakshi's wicked caricature pen as intensely as any other blacks in his movie. What Bakshi is against, as the film makes abundantly clear, is the cheats, the rip-off artists, the hypocrites, the phonies, the con men, and organized criminals of this world, regardless of race, color, and creed. The film is most critical in the portrayal of the mafia, according to Bakshi. I was incensed at all the hero worship of those guys in The Godfather. Al Pacino and Khan did such a great job of making you like them. One thing that stunned me about The Godfather movie, here's a mother who gives birth to children, and her husband essentially gets all her sons killed. In Coonskin, she gets her revenge, but also gets shot. She turns into a butterfly and gets crushed. These guys don't give you any room. As in these, I meant the mafia. The live action sequence features singers Barry White, which I do love the song. His famous song was shit. I forgot the name of the song, because this, if you've seen the movie Dark Shadows, it's the scene where Johnny Depp playing Barnabas and the witch are going wild in her office, aka making out while bouncing wall to wall while a song by Barry White has been played, and that's the song I'm talking about. Which is actually pretty funny and catchy at the same time. But back to this. That's what I was saying. Singers Barry White and Scatman Croft, actor and playwright Charles Gordon, and actress Philip Michael Thomas, Danny Reese, and Buddy Douglas Thomas. Gordon and White also provide the voices of the film's main animated characters. In the film's ending, the actors were only credited in the live-action roles, and all voice actors who did not appear in live-action sequences were left uncredited. Among the voice featured in the film were Al Lewis, best known for appearing as Grandpa on The Munsters, which, when I saw that name, I was like, wait, where did I hear Al Lewis from? Until I realized, are you kidding me? You're telling me that fat, ugly Italian blob is voiced by the most iconic grandpa in TV history. Everybody's favorite grandpa monster. The famed Count. Is like, you gotta be kidding me. I never seen the movie. I seen only reviews of this, but I never actually heard this guy's voice. If I knew this was Grandpa Monster voice, this guy, like, I know Herman Munster. I know the actor of Herman Munster actor Fred Gwynplaine was in a horror film, most famously Pet Sematary as the famed neighbor. They, hey, you don't go over there. That's the Pet Sematary right there. Jesus. And this is what was this in the 70s? What is this film released back in the 75? So this is like a couple years after the end of their first film, you know, Monsters Go Home. They have a TV film called Monsters Revenge, so this has to be during this time in the 70s right here. So I don't know when that film, I don't know. After hearing that Grandpa Monster was the voice of the Italian fat ass, I was like, wow. I did not know that. And how did Bakshi get Al Lewis, Grandpa Monster, to do his role? You imagine Grandpa Monster cursing out like fuck every time. I gotta see that part. If I hear, imagine if you see Grandpa Monster cursing out at his own sons. Well, it makes him. He thinks his own son-in-law is dumb. But continuing. Bakshi also worked with Gordon on the film Heavy Traffic and worked with Thomas again on the film Hey Good Lookin'. The film opens credit features a long take of Scatman Crops performing a song on vocal and guitar called Coonskin No More. Well, at least the title didn't go to waste. Coonskin uses a variety of different styles of artwork, filmmaking, and storytelling techniques. Film critic Leonard Moulton, wrote that Coonskin remains one of Bakshi's most exciting films, both visually and conceptually. Darius James writes that Coonskin reads like an Uncle Remus folktale rewritten by Chester Himes, with all the Yoruba-based surrealism of a Nigerian author, Amos Tutuola. The film directly referenced the original African folk tales of Uncle Remus storybooks, were based on the two scenes that are directly reminiscent of the stories of the Briar Patch and the Tar Baby. Writer and former pimp Iceberg Slim is briefly referenced in the dialogue of Preacher Fox, and Liston Ali fights are a reference to the film's final act, in which Brother Bear, like Sonny Liston, is sold out to the mafia. Excuse me. The film also featured a pastiche of a cartoonist, George Harriman, and columnist John Marquis Archie and Mechitable in a monologue about a cockroach that leaves the women who love him. Bakshi has stated that Harriman, a biracial American Creole, is his favorite cartoonist. Oh boy. During the release, when the film was finished, a showing was planned at the Museum of Modern Art. However, the Congress of the CORE, or it's called the Congress of Racial Equality, surrounded the building in a protest led by Ilian Parker. Greg Kilday of the Los Angeles Times interviewed Larry Kadish, a museum staff member, and Kadish recalled that about halfway into the film, about 10 members of the CORE showed up. They walked up and down the aisle, and they were very belligerent. In my estimation, they were determined not to like the film. Apparently, some of their friends have read the script of the movie, and in their behalf, it was detrimental to the image of blacks. The question and answer sessions with Bakshi that fall quickly collapsed into chaos of a shouting match. Animation historian Jerry Beck did not recall any disturbance during the screening, but said there were racial catcalls during the question and answer sessions, and Bakshi talk was cut short. It wasn't much of a madhouse, but it was kind of wild for a museum of modern art. Following the showing, the Paramount building in New York City was picketed by CORE. Ellen Parker, chairman of the Harlem chapter of CORE, has spoken out against the film in January of 1975. She told Variety that the film depicts us as slaves, hustlers, and whores. It is a racist film to me and very insulting. The Los Angeles chapter of CORE demanded Paramount not to release the film, claiming that it was highly objectionable to the black community. The NAACP had written a letter describing the film as a difficult satire, but supported it. With Paramount permission, Bakshi and Rudy were contractually released, and the Bryanston Distributing Company was made as the new distributor of the film. Ironically, 2 weeks after the film opened, the distributor went bankrupt. According to the May of 1975 issue of Hollywood Reporter, Ben Gage was hired to re-record some of Barry White's voice tracks in order to remove racist reference and vulgarity. Coonskin was given a limited distribution, advertised as a blaxploitation film. Roger Ebert wrote in his review of the film, Coonskin is said by its director to be about blacks and for whites, and by its ads to be for blacks against whites. Its title was originally intended to break through racial stereotypes by its bluntness, but now the ads say the hero and his pals are out to get the man to stop calling them coonskins. The movie's original distributor, Paramount, dropped it after pressure from black groups. Now it's being sold by Bryanston as an attack on the system. Coonskin is provocative, original, and deserves better than being sold as a very thing it's not. In 1982, article published by the Village Voice, Carol Cooper wrote Coonskin was driven out of theaters by misguided minorities. Correction, misguided black people, or people of different colors or races, or different, because today minority is considered another slur now. I'm not the one to judge, literally. It's actually considered a new slur now, minority now. Most of whom had never seen the film, cords pickets at Paramount Gulf and Western headquarters, and later a few smoke bombs lobbed into a packed Broadway theater, where enough theater owners were intimidated and exotically distributors Bryanston couldn't book the film. As for the critical response, initial reviews of the film were mixed. Playboy magazine said of the film, Bakshi seems to throw in a little of everything and he can't quite pull it together. A review published by the Village Voice called the film the product of a crippled hand and a paralyzed mind. Arthur wrote in Newsweek, Bakshi doesn't have much affection for man or womankind. Black or white. Eventually, positive reviews appeared in the New York Times, Hollywood Reporter, and the New York Amsterdam News, an African-American newspaper, and elsewhere, but the film died at the box office. Richard Elder of the film New York Times wrote, Coonskin could be his masterpiece, a shatteringly successful effort to use uncommon form cartoons and live action combined to convey the hallucinatory violence and frustration of American city life, specifically black city life. Literally violent, yet in no way does it exploit violence. Variety called the film a brutal satire from the streets, not for all tastes, not avant-garde. The target audience is youth who read comics in the underground. A reviewer from the LA Herald Examiner wrote, "Certainly it will outrage some, and indeed, it's not Disney. I like it. The dialogue is obviously generated and not the box office obstacle. Seems jointly healthy." Stanley Kaufman of the New Republic wrote, "Coonskin is a flawed but fierce little work of art and a high level of imaginative energy with some touches of brilliance." It also has a legacy. Coonskin was re-released under the title Busted Out, but it was not a success. In 2003, Online Film Critics Society ranked the film as the 97th greatest animated film of all time. Coonskin received a VHS by the Academy Entertainment in the late 1987, and later by Zune Entertainment Group in 1990, both under a re-release title Street Fight. The 1987 edition carried disclaimer warning, "This film offends everybody," which is actually true. In 2010, Shout Factory announced that Coonskin will be released on DVD on November 2010, intending to release it with a reversible cover of both the original title and the alternate title. But the release was cancelled due to legal issue involving ownership of the rights to the film, resolved with Axion, eventually DVD release in 2012. Fuck. The 2012 release was the first official home video release to carry the film's original title. In 2012, Bakshi incorporated animation from Coonskin into a new short film called Trickle Dickle Down, which is criticizing Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney. Jesus fuck. Damn. But yeah. This film has to be the most... Okay, it says, being honest, it says it will offend everyone. Not just blacks, including whites, Jews, Spanish, everybody in the whole pot. But yeah. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Coonskin, and if you've seen this movie, did you enjoy it? Did you not get offended by it? Do you think it's funny? It actually tells you, well, it takes place right back in the 70s, so of course, 70s America was batshit crazy, I tell you what. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention a certain character that actually appears. A certain blonde bimbo who keeps reappearing in different short scenes. If people don't know who that is, her name is Miss America, and she's actually the embodiment of... she's actually not just the embodiment, but the personification of the U.S., literally. A blonde, big titty woman, and you're not blind. She's actually naked, but painted. If you look closely, you can actually see her nips painted over. She's actually walking around naked, but painted. And here's the dark half. This is her description. Depicted as a white, blonde, large titty woman who serves as the personification of the U.S. In each short scenes, she seduces a black man meant to depict the African American populace, only to instead beat or kill them. I'm not joking. There was a scene where a black guy, like an old man, asking if she wants some help, and guess what she says? In the most common way. Help. Rape. 3, 2, 1. A noose appears, the black guy gets hanged. Then we got another one, looks like a Black Panther, and she's actually letting him to do her when she opens her legs. 3, 2, 1, bang. He gets shot dead. It's like, what the hell is in that coochie? Is there a gun in there? Jesus, I never seen one she's beat up an old guy with brass knuckles. Or silver knuckles, I don't know. There's an image she's wearing silver knuckles instead of brass. Jesus, fuck! I thought the stereotype, this is worse, but damn. And she has a fan base. I mean, literally, I'm not joking. If you type Miss America from Coonskin, oh boy, the whole thing. But yeah. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Coonskin. Did you watch the movie? Did you own a copy of it? If you're lucky to find a Blu-ray version, which I don't know, they only have DVD, I don't know. If you're lucky, hey, good job for you. And if you're a film student, comment down below what you think of the movie. And remember what the title of the film says. Warning. This film will offend everyone, so nobody is safe. But yeah, until then, remember to subscribe, hit the bell, like this video, and remember our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers, or at least 500k, because by May of this year, it's our 11th anniversary from 2013 to 2023. And also, your boy Mel. Also, more great news. Your boy Mel here will be appearing at this year's Puerto Rico Comic Con from the 7th until the 9th of April next week. Mostly some of my art. I'll be at Arts Alley along with my colleagues from the university. Showing our art. I think I might be wearing my jacket. I have a new jean jacket with all my pins, including some mostly related to anime, horror, you name it. Also may do autographs as well, or take photos with fans. Hey, we're here, have a great time. So until then, have a great day, everybody. Until then, stay safe, stay cool, stay fresh. We all know that. Achoo. Now I'm falling. We.